The Swift car ramp by Cadswift makes documenting car ramps far easier than ever before. Let's take a closer look. You have 5 standard shapes of car ramps to choose from. A basic straight car ramp, a U shape, L shape with the first section being straight, or an L shape with the first section being curved, or a circular car ramp. To create your desired car ramp, first you choose a shape, then you nominate the structural sizing in relation to the ramp width. This is the distance between curbs, and the ramp thickness. You also nominate to have your curbs turned on or off individually, and nominate the heights and widths individually. On the next page, you go into the detail of the actual profile of the ramp. For this configuration, you have an option for the corner, the angle of the corner. You are given the length, that is at the center line. The radius, this is also measured at the center line. And the height, indicated down here as H1. Next you nominate the profile of the straight section. You have a control, overall and transitions, or main and transitions. Then you nominate whether to have your transitions on or off, and the height and length of the transitions and the height and length of the main section. The information on this page will vary depending on the nominated ramp shape. As with all Cadswift library parts, there is also a section on 2D and 3D representation where you can adjust pens and line types. There are also a series of annotation elements on this part that you can define in this area. You have an option to label the ramp with chosen text and text size. You have an option to label the curb and toggle that on and off and choose the text. You have an option to turn on the gradient note and also the directional notes and nominate sizes. You can also modify the appearance of the directional angle or toggle it on and off. The really handy aspect of this part is the use of movable hotspots in 2D and 3D to adjust all these parameters without having to come into these selection settings. Let's take a look. In the 2D view, you have hotspots to define the length of each section. Transition 1, main section, transition 2. With the curve section, you have a hotspot that nominates the angle of the curve and thus the length, and also a hotspot to adjust the radius of the curve section. As with the first straight, on the second straight you also have the same hotspots for the transitions and main sections. Note that when you adjust these lengths, your gradient text automatically adjusts. You also have hotspots on your curbs to adjust the depth of each curb. In the 3D, you have the same hotspots where you can adjust the length of each section, and above that hotspot you have another one where you can adjust the height of each section. With the turning hotspot, it is important to keep the angle to full degree units. So you rotate to about the point that you want, and then you type in the closest full degree. As you can see, these hotspots in 2D and 3D make manipulating and configuring the ramp element extremely user-friendly and a pleasure to work with.